So here's the billion-dollar question. Is artificial general intelligence going to make our jobs obsolete? Or is it going to unlock a totally new era of productivity and creativity? Right now, that single question is stirring up this incredible mix of excitement and, let's be real, a whole lot of anxiety for all of us. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing anymore. This is happening right now. All right, let's just dive right in. In this explainer, we're going to break down 5 key areas to really get to the bottom of this. We're going to look at the timeline, the huge debate around jobs, who's actually feeling the heat right now, what skills you need to be focusing on, and finally, a real game plan for how to come out on top. So first things first, when is this all supposed to happen? You know, the predictions have shifted so dramatically in just the past couple of years. What used to feel like a distant concept is now being talked about in single-digit years by the very people who are building it.
Yeah, this is the question on literally everyone's mind. And the answer is, well, it completely depends on who you ask. The experts, the pioneers, the people actually on the front lines of this stuff, they are all over the map, and their predictions just keep getting closer and closer.
Okay, check out this timeline. What's so wild here is just the sheer range of guesses. You've got Elon Musk on the super aggressive end saying AGI could be here as early as 2026. Then you have the guys who founded DeepMind, Shane Legg and Demis Hassabis, pointing to 2028 and 2030. Sam Altman over at OpenAI is thinking more like 2035. What's crystal clear, though, is that the entire conversation has shifted from decades to just a few years. It's no longer a question of if, but how soon. So before we go any further, let's make sure we're all on the same page. When we say AGI, we're talking about this definition from DeepMind's co-founder. We're not talking about a narrow AI that's just really good at one thing like, say, playing chess. No, we're talking about a system that has the same cognitive flexibility as a human, the ability to learn, to reason, and to adapt across a whole range of different tasks. And that leads us straight into the core of the conflict, the great job debate. Is AGI going to take our jobs, or is it going to make them better? You've got 2 really powerful and totally opposite arguments here. On one side, you have the displacement argument. And honestly, it doesn't get much more blunt than this quote from Dario Amodei, the CEO of the AI company Anthropic. He's not talking about some slow, gentle change. He's warning of a white-collar bloodbath. And he's specifically pointing at the jobs that are the first step on the ladder for professional careers. And to put a really stark number on that warning, Amodei is suggesting we could see an unemployment rate of 10 to 20%. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's a level of economic chaos we haven't seen since the Great Depression. So the point here isn't just that some jobs might change, it's the potential for a full-blown society-level crisis. But then you got the other side of the coin, the job creation argument. This slide lays out the divide perfectly. On one hand, you have these terrifying forecasts of massive job loss. But on the other hand, you have history. Think about it. Something like 60% of us are working in jobs today that didn't even exist back in 1940. Technology has always been a job-creating engine, and some projections actually show a net gain of millions of jobs worldwide in just the next few years. Okay, so we've got these 2 big competing ideas, but what's actually happening right now on the ground? Let's shift away from future predictions and start looking at the hard data to see if this disruption is already here. And the data, well, it suggests the answer is yes, at least in a few key places. Research from big names like JP Morgan and the Stanford Digital Economy Lab are showing some pretty worrying signals. For the first time, college grads are facing higher unemployment than the average. The tech job boom basically hit a wall the exact month ChatGPT came out. And we're already seeing real, measurable declines for young people in fields like software development and customer support. These are the canaries in the coal mine for sure. But here's where things get really interesting and a bit more complicated. This data is absolutely fascinating. It shows that just because your job is exposed to AI, that doesn't mean you're doomed. I mean, look at web designers or marketing managers. Tons of exposure, but also 100% adaptive capacity. What that means is the people in those fields have the skills and the networks to pivot and change. So the key takeaway isn't just about what you do, it's about how well you can adapt. Which brings us to probably the most important part of this whole conversation, the solution, right? If being adaptable is the key, then what are the skills that are actually going to be worth more as AI gets smarter? This is all about finding our human edge. The organization 80,000 Hours has this amazing framework for this. Basically, the skills that become the bottlenecks, the things AI just can't do, those are the things that are going to see their value go through the roof. Being able to direct AI to solve messy real-world problems, that's number one. Then you've got timeless skills like leadership and just being an effective person. And check this out, complex physical skills. Robotics is still way behind cognitive AI, which makes hands-on work in unpredictable places incredibly valuable.
And this, right here, this gets to the absolute core of our long-term value. An AI can process a mountain of data, but it can't give you genuine empathy. It can generate millions of patterns, but it can't find purpose. It can simulate solutions, but it can't actually grow from real lived experience. These qualities aren't just fluffy, nice-to-have ideas. They are our ultimate economic advantage.
So how do we wrap all of this up into a strategy that you can actually use? Let's build a super clear 3-step action plan to get yourself ready for the future of work.
Okay, number 1, learn to use AI. The data doesn't lie. People with AI skills earn about 25% more. Treat it like any other powerful tool you need to master. Number 2, double down on those irreplaceable human skills we just talked about: communication, leadership, creativity. And number 3, build up your personal resilience. The world is only going to change faster from here on out, so being prepared financially and mentally is absolutely non-negotiable.
And as we all try to navigate this massive shift, it's really worth remembering this core idea. The whole point of all this technological progress isn't just to protect the jobs we happen to have today. The real goal is to use these new tools to free ourselves up from boring tasks and create richer, more meaningful lives. Which leaves us with the final and maybe the most important question of all. The promise of AGI is a world of almost unimaginable abundance. But just being more productive isn't the endgame. The real challenge is whether we can redesign our work, our schools, our society to turn all that abundance into genuine human flourishing. That is the task ahead of us.